Hey, and welcome back to the Talos Principle. Last time we solved the last few puzzles here. And today I'm going to start off by entering all the different areas, because apparently, like, there are like these big billboards, I'm gonna call them, that contain a code, but apparently this one changed in between my experimenting, so I'm gonna have to return to like all the other areas and quickly get this code in order. I'm just gonna write it down, and to my understanding this should allow us to enter the 6th layer of the tower. So I guess I'll see you once I got the code. Okay, so this is just E3. Wasn't it a 3 before, or was it A3 and then... I don't know, might have also just been random luck, right? Like, it can just happen. Because, again, like, I am quite sure that I saw a 0 in the last spot, but apparently that just changed after I got one of the endings. So, maybe all of them have changed, you know? You never know. Okay, you're also an 8. So it was 3-8. Why did the last digit change? Am I crazy? It was a 0, right? It was a 0 and then it went through the gates. And then it was 6. Was I just blind? Did I misread something? Am I going crazy? Is it the game or is it me? I have no idea at this point. Well, but we have a code. And I'm quite sure that this code is going to allow us to actually see what's at the very, very top. Which is why I'm also assuming that this is going to be the very last episode. I'm expecting that to be like one last puzzle. I mean, we do have the gray sigils, so I'm quite curious about that. Maybe, like, I always assume, not assume, but like I hope that like a game gives you like kind of a happy end. What would be the happy end for this game? Because like, this is kind of what I had talked about before in a way, that it kind of doesn't make sense. Oh wait, I need to first go to like any other layer and reach like a terminal. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to just delete everything. Maybe we can somehow override that part of the function to not delete this world, or better yet, create more robots to put all of the, I guess, the people in here into robots. But then again, is that a wise choice? Are they capable of being a person outside? I mean, we'd have to give them the chance, right? But would that be suffering? Would it be better for them to stay inside? Where was the entrance? There was like a secret entrance in here, right? Was it over here? There was this one. Am I stupid? I might be. Was I just able to go the other way around? I might have just been missing that. Oh yeah, the gate is open. It's just the last gate that's not open after we had reloaded everything. So let's get in here. Local disk, yeah, connect to network, that is fair. So now, if I go into the truth, was it truth? No, wait, this one doesn't actually have a password. Okay, before entering the password, that's actually another theory that I want to check, because we have seen multiple texts, right? Like, and this is like kind of annoying that I went to this one in particular now. But like, if I go to floor Osiris password, right? Like, this is an empty one. This is floor 3. Let's go to floor 3 and see if the file still exists if we go there. Maybe we just can't access it in the tab menu? Or maybe this is actually deleted now. So, let's go to here. I'm not quite sure, and like, I don't actually mind, you know, spending more time in this world. Just running around a little bit, because it might just end soon, right? And how, like, there's a part of me that's always like happy about, like, you know, making progress. There's also the part that really hates when great games end, so... I don't actually mind getting an excuse to waste another 5 minutes in this world. But yeah, and there should be a terminal that we should be able to reach relatively easily. Yeah, okay, this is still open. There's like a hidden text here, right? Okay. Also, is there like a... This is just sheep and shepherd rare. Okay. And then let's use the computer. And we should just be able to open the last piece from here anyway. Osiris password. It's here. Okay. And 737 sounds like a reasonable thing. Wait a second. Now I'm confused. Cyrus password? I just can't access it from here. That's interesting. Wait, can I access any of the other ones? But why was it yellow then? Athena 14. We can access. Why is this the only one that I can't, like, why are the password ones the only ones that I cannot access from, like, outside? This is such a weird thing. I hope they're, like, not important and... No, wait. There was one thing that was important that I obviously forgot about. Oh, that's just me. That is so me. I still have to activate the elevator. Let's see if I actually got the right password, because I hope that I did. Device manager. Yeah, it's loading. And I would like to do floor access control. Floor 6. And I need the code 3, 8, and 6. Code accepted. So it is the right code. I don't know why it changed in between. So I'm just gonna exit and hope that this works. Right, like this is the last step of the journey. I hope it works. Would be kind of sad if there's like a bug in the way between us and whatever floor 6 holds for us. I mean, it should be a lot higher than what we reached before. Wait, what? You sure about that? That's not quite the direction that I expected with floor 6, but hey, I'm not the one who builds elevators, right? Also, am I shrinking? I feel like I'm shrinking. Huh. But we are in the underground. Not quite what I expected, to be honest. So...
My beloved child, few have given themselves so purely to my cause. Fewer still have learned so much of the mysteries of my garden. Therefore, you may choose to be elevated, to stand by my side and become my blessed messenger in eternity. But know that this is a sacrifice that cannot be undone.
Okay. I mean... What does that mean? Okay, to be fair, maybe I misunderstood the other eternity, right? Like we were reset and like this would be the one that turns us into like a messenger that like the other ones, right? Like Uriel 4, for example, where we actually get to help others in their quest. I'm assuming. Because like when I went through the gates, we kind of were just reset, right? So we get to be reset either way normally. I mean, I guess then this isn't quite what I want, right? Unless I actually get to change some rules. I don't think that this is going to work. No, this is absolutely not going to work. Let's reset. Obviously it's these pieces, right? Like these pieces are always great to work with, right? I mean... Like I can definitely, like what I'm seeing here is basically I can do like this combination here, right? And then I can do this and this. But that doesn't actually help me enough because like I can't actually combine you in any way where this works out. So this is kind of the issue here. Let's do something like this here. And then I can put you here, but that, again, kind of blocks everything in a weird way. Wait a second. Ah, found it. I guess that's the end? It's such a weird thing. Because few have dedicated themselves. Yeah, this is like the password. Does that actually mean that we become one of the other messengers? Does that mean that climbing the tower and ending the simulation is actually what I'm assuming the true ending? Because like this can't last forever, right? Can it? I mean, it can't. Like physically can't, but like the difference between like us being outside and being inside. Can I go behind the elevator? It's so dark. I can't see anything. Like, next time, build those robots with, like, night vision, okay? That would be great. Because I am struggling here. This is not quite what I expected, I have to say. It really isn't, but hey. Is that just the ending? Or is there more?
It is now time to choose your epitaph. For your body shall be entombed, though you shall not die.
I mean, this isn't quite the area I wanted to be in. I would have preferred a floating island. Am I replacing one of you? Are there just 3 of the messengers? Hermes again? Welcome, child. I'm one of those who... Yeah. I guess I would elect to stay in this world, huh? I don't know if I want to choose an epitaph. But I guess I am at this point stuck. I literally cannot leave. If I wanted to. Like, I can reset, obviously, but that's not quite what I'm going for. But this is definitely... Yeah, we are replacing someone here. Interesting. Kinda rude, because this definitely doesn't make us eternal then. Does it? Also, oh wait, actually one thing changed. Obviously there wasn't a computer here before, right? This would be your final resting place. A final resting place. Choose how you would be remembered by those who follow in your footsteps. The purpose of life is to serve the generations to come. Okay, those are like all of the sentences were there before. I search this land to serve the glory of Elohim. This is my just reward. Remember, everything is merely a premise in a grand equation. I swear I won't be as obscure as the rest of them. I'm not sure this was the right idea, but here I go. Have faith in the designer. Like, most of them I already disagree with, right? Like, this one is fair enough. Let go of your ego and you will perceive eternity. I shall be the eternal guardian of this world. Made the Hall of Fame. Eat it. That's also me. Epitaph? What? Wait a second. Every single sigil. No beating that. What a waste of time this all was. You have to provide your own answers. But I will help you to see them where I can. Don't make my mistake. Turns out epitaph means you're dead. I dream of a world where all are equal. As a messenger, I will bring about this end. Wait. I will bring about this end by helping the worst off. Fair enough. What would I say? Like, what is most about this? Like, epitaph, yeah, like, I kind of knew that we would be, like, ending our journey here, right? I feel like this is definitely something I would say. I like to joke about that, but I feel like the joke doesn't quite land if people don't know me, right? What a waste of time this all was. It wasn't a waste of time for me. I enjoyed the puzzles, right? Like, even without, like, the existential change that this game brought in a way, this still wouldn't have been a waste of time to me. Like, it would have not been as great as the texts have been, but, like, just the puzzles themselves were also, like, a solid design, which I am definitely still going to remember in the future. Don't make my mistake. Turns out epitaph means you're dead. Now let's go with eat it. Storing final memory dump done. Ready for manual upload of a new messenger. Blessed manager, solve every mystery.
That there is no greater love than to lay down your life for another. But your sacrifice is greater still. For instead of resting in eternity, you have chosen to serve all the generations to come. They shall strive for greatness, and through you, they shall accomplish it. For you are no longer a child. You are my messenger.
I mean, it seems kind of more broken than the rest. Created by Crow Team. I have to say, I still kind of expected a different ending. I don't know, like, I should have thought about that once I entered, like, the whole of eternity, basically, that we did not become a messenger, which is something interesting. We had not become a messenger, so I kind of should have clued me into the fact that I could have become one had I gone another direction. I guess now I'm kind of stuck in a position where I still have to think about this game, which like isn't like the bad thing, but like I expected something else, right? I expected a more grandiose ending in a way, because I saw like how the elevator went up, but like there was like still the middle shaft, like when we went to the very top, which is interesting. And now we're kind of stuck here talking about it, like kind of unprepared in a way. That just happens, right? Like there are multiple reasons for that. One of them is just that there was like a big gap between like recording and now, and also like my memory is generally just terrible. So like I'm just probably going to forget talking about some things that I want to talk about this game, while also you know, I guess repeating things that I've said before. Right? Like let's start off like with the obvious thing. Even though I expected something more out of like the other two endings, like this ending and the previous, like the Hall of Eternity, I expected like a bit more out of both of them, in a way. Even though that is the case, that does not mean that I'm disappointed, right? I should have probably expected something like that again, and maybe something changes if I go for the like the door, right, into all eternity, and like play through the game again. Maybe something's going to change, like bits of it are going to change, because we are like the child of ourselves, but like we are similar to like Samsara, for example, who remembers what happened before, which is interesting, even though like we don't have access to like the texts, for example, stuff like that. Still very fascinating. Like I am probably going to repeat like some things that I said in the previous ending, where I said, yeah, this has been like so much fun, right? Like it is a really fascinating game from like a design perspective, because it's like basically two games, right? It's like one, like on one hand it's like the reading game, and on the other hand it's like the puzzle game. And I don't think that, like, first of all, like the reading game, I'm gonna call it, it's like not really a game, right? Like we are just sitting there, like we are thinking about stuff, but there's no, at least to my understanding, no mechanical reason to read in this game outside of like figuring out like the passwords towards the very end. Otherwise, you can technically ignore like all of the texts and just play through like the other game, which is like the puzzle game, which still, I have to say, it's like a solid puzzle game. I actually enjoyed like most of the puzzles, except for some minor things, which I probably complained about like a lot. Like for example, there was like one of the first stars, and that I had found, where you were supposed to find like these keys. And I just thought, like, from a design perspective, it was kind of weird to just put the keys somewhere, right? And like, I hate exploration. That sounds like really weird maybe, but I really hate exploration in puzzle games. I prefer it when I know where the puzzle is. Like, I like knowing when a puzzle happens and then having to figure out how to solve it. That's like the thing that I think is fun. The thing is not fun if I'm just running around. Like, it's also, like, I talked about this like a lot when I talked about mazes. I hate mazes for that particular reason, because most of them are basically just there to pad runtime, literally, because you're running around in a maze, like a headless chicken, without like actually something to solve. And like a game really has to be built around having to find the puzzles, basically, for it to work, in my opinion. And like I'm complaining about this like in this game. It was like such a minor fraction, right? Like there were like 2 or 3 of those puzzles, I'm gonna say, where you had to like run around. There was like no hint as to where you had to look. That's probably how I would put it. All the other puzzles, which are still like 150 something, I'm gonna put like every single sigil as its own puzzle, because like generally the star puzzles, okay, like there are like 100 regular sigils, right? There are 30 star sigils, and there are also like, how many sigils? Was it like 10 purple that we needed each time? I forgot like the exact number that we needed. Was it 6? I don't know, it was like, let's just say 10 sigils per area, and then I have like 2 more, so it's like 32 again. Like, let's just say like a little over 150 puzzles in this game. And like saying that like 140 of those were like actually really fun is, in my opinion, a really great accomplishment. I also really like the little Easter eggs, like finding them. They were like really surprises to me, especially like the moon in the very beginning, where I didn't actually expect there to be Easter eggs, right? I'm kind of I wouldn't say like disappointed. Calling it disappointed is kind of the wrong way to talk about it, because like obviously Easter eggs are supposed to represent something, and just because I am not familiar with like a lot of these Easter eggs, because they are, I'm assuming just from like the other titles that Crow Team has worked on, that's like kind of on me that I have not played those games, right? Like I feel like somebody who would have played them would have, I guess, had more joy out of them, right? Like I would have found like even more joy than I found. Like I still enjoyed finding them, right? Like I enjoyed being rewarded for looking around the world, even if it was like just a small thing, like for example the monkey in a cage. I still don't know why exactly it's the monkey in a cage. There's probably someone who has like a better idea than I have about that. Right, like stuff like that. And there's also like the weird cave that we have found, which is probably like a reference to something. Like there are just like so many, and it's like really fun to be rewarded, even if I didn't quite get the references. And maybe one day I will get those references, because I get the time to actually play like the other titles. But yeah, like again, I really like this game. I can probably never stop talking about how much I like this game. I still think it's really fascinating that I think the reason why I like this game is probably because I made it as a video series. I don't think I would have worked so hard in understanding this text and really thinking about these texts had it not been for the fact that this is a video series that I wanted to make like entertaining. And like the best way I thought this would be entertaining is actually talk about like my thoughts. Because like especially the puzzles, right? Like the puzzle parts I can just talk about like my thought process, which oftentimes just amounts to I'm gonna try this and that, and I try to kinda say exactly what I'm trying, but it's oftentimes just easier to just show, and at that point you are not really going that deep into like the thought process, right? Like that's kind of how I would put it. In any case, we are done now. Your boat. We can restore some backups. There's like the one sigil one that I could do. There are 152 sigils. Okay, now I actually have like at least the number. They're like, okay, so we have 30 stars, we have 100 regular sigils, and we have 22 of the other ones. Wait a second. I'm confused. Wait a second. How does that work out like math wise? Because like divided by 3. Is that Did the other sigil that I found count into that one? Because I picked up the sigil in like my backup. And we can see that like this one is something I started like the recording session with, like 149 sigils. No wait, I picked up... No wait, I'm stupid. Obviously we had like 3 more sigils that I had to pick up. Okay, so I guess these were not counted. But how does it make sense that I have like 2 of the purple ones left at the end? Maybe like the prices, the prices between like the doors, right? Like how much I had to pay in purple sigils was actually different in different zones, and I just didn't remember. For some reason I thought all of them would be the same. Because that doesn't make sense, no? Like I'm trying to map it out in my head, because it's like 22. How do you... Like it would be 20 divided by 3, right? So it's like a weird number. It's somewhere between like 6 and 7? I don't know. Sometimes I am just confused. That happens if you are playing a game for like 4 months, right? Yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to do here now. Well, I mean, the truth is I want to play the DLCs, which is definitely something I'm going to do in the near future. It's probably going to be like a few days of break in between. Maybe I'm gonna look for like a short other game, or I might just jump into them, you know, straight up. I will see like my decision in the coming days, right? Like I'm always like a little bit ahead of like my recording or like my YouTube uploads, which makes this decision a bit easier for me. But yeah, I like the 2 DLCs and then the second game that I obviously want to play. But I'm also going to say I still want to do like a bonus episode, and there are like a few puzzles I never properly solved. Because I kind of skipped them. I just solved in like a very unique way that I want to test out myself, right? So it's going to be like about that, and there are also like a few decisions that I want to kind of change. Like, obviously, I don't know if I would invest that much time to like just run through the entire game, like after going through the door, for example, just to compare like all of the texts that I have with like the serpent. Maybe I'm gonna try to reach the top without talking to the serpent ever. Stuff like that, right? Like I feel like there are probably ways I can interact with the game in a weird way that would lead to interesting results. That's probably how I would put it. And some of them might make it to like a bonus episode. I'm assuming like whenever I am going to get around to making this bonus episode, which is probably going to be like in the future, like probably after the DLCs. Maybe before I'm done with those, whenever I find the time at least. Like, I'm definitely trying to test some stuff out. So, like, if you have some ideas, just let me know. I'm gonna check those out on video. But it's probably going to be, like, a weirdly cut episode, like, at the end. Unlike, like, most of my other episodes where I, like, show most of the stuff that I'm actually doing, right? But, yeah. In any case, I cannot repeat enough how much I enjoyed this game. It has been really special to me, and I'm still very much surprised by how I first was introduced to the game, right? Like, reading the description, I was like, oh, this is like this life-changing game about like what it means to be a person. And like, I guess it always sounds weird if someone advertises themselves as like, I don't know if it was like actually life-changing, but like with like some grandiose ideas where it's like, oh, this is like so philosophically important, right? Like it always sounds like a little bit arrogant, but I feel like this game actually delivered, which is really fascinating that it actually delivered on that promise. But there's probably going to be more that I'm going to talk about like during the DLCs, so I'm just gonna leave it here. So in any case, I really hope you enjoyed the series, and I hope to see you in the next one. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, because I'll be seeing you, hopefully, in the next series. Till then, have a good one, and bye-bye!